Good morning, everyone. All right. So, who was at the Boy Scout Surf and Turf dinner last night? Give it up. All right, the rest of you have a meat coma and you're sleeping. You're not here. I think that was the first time the Boy Scouts did that, right? They did the surf and turf in lieu of the crab feed that they've been doing for years and years, and it was fantastic. I wanted to give a little shout out. I think Janet Otto was the chair of that event, but I got to give a shout out to Marty Sakata, who was the smoked meat master, because that meat, I'm a carnivore, that meat was fantastic. So it was a wonderful, wonderful event. From what I understand, I think that was the once in a lifetime. So you missed it. Too bad. You'll never get to go again. So, I mean, all you can eat steak. Anyway, Reverend Bob and Reverend Patty are working very hard this weekend. They are actually at the Jodo Shinshu Center for the entire long weekend. They are hosting the YAC 11, the summer reunion retreat. So they're working hard. They got workshops planned from Friday until Monday. So they're working very hard over there, and I hope all the kids are enjoying themselves over there. But here we are. I cannot believe that it's 2016 already. I really can't believe it. And although we celebrated New Year's only a few weeks ago, it already seems like a distant memory, doesn't it? It just seems like such a far, far time ago. I can't believe how quickly time passes. And now that New Year's is here, I'm sure you guys have your New Year's resolutions, right? You guys, no? Not a big resolution? Oh, you guys are perfect. That's why we don't need any resolutions. But actually, I'm with you. I don't actually make New Year's resolutions, but I do set goals for myself. And so I have a goal for myself this year, and it's a goal that I want to share with all of you here today. As many of you know, Buddhism teaches us that in order to reduce suffering in our lives, we must learn to be less self-centered and control our ego-filled desires. And to do this, we must follow the Eightfold Path. And one of the teachings in the Eightfold Path in particular is one that I'm trying to work on. And that one is right speech. Has anybody heard of that one before as part of the Eightfold Path? Okay, right speech. And I think, isn't right speech such an appropriate topic for this weekend in particular? Right? What weekend is this? What? It's just a holiday as far as you kids know, but what are we celebrating this weekend? Yes. Who has one of the most famous speeches, right, of all time? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So I felt that right speech was such a relevant and important topic to talk about today. So what does right speech even mean, and why is it important? From a Buddhist definition, right speech means you should never tell any lies. I don't know why I'm looking at the kids. The adults probably lie more. Did you eat that cake in the fridge? No. You know, right speech means you should not tell any lies. Right speech means you shouldn't say anything harmful or rude or inappropriate. And right speech also means you shouldn't engage in idle chatter or gossip. Idle chatter means nonsense, which is, pretty much, if we took that out, we'd have nothing to talk about, I guess. So basically what it means is you need to think about the words that come out of your mouth before they leave your mouth. You need to think about what you're going to say before you speak. Like when your wife asks you, do I look good in these pants? You need to think about that before you respond. Or how many of you have gone to dinner and the host is all, oh, what'd you think of the salmon? You need to think about that. It was fantastic. No matter what, it was fabulous. The Japanese have a tendency to actually maybe think too much before they speak. How many of you have heard a word in Japanese called enryo? Enryo. Who's heard this word? All right. Okay, so enryo is not an easy word to translate. But basically, enryo means to hold back. And it embodies a gesture of politeness and respect, but it's very cultural. It's a very cultural word. So an example of enryo would be if we were sitting here and it was really cold and I go, oh, hello everybody, did you want me to turn up the heater? And you guys would be like, no, it's fine. No. This is how Japanese say no. They go like this, No. right? And their teeth are chattering and they're freezing, right? You get that, right? That pretty much embodies it. That sums it up. That's what Enyo means. But this notion of Enyo is an example of not blurting out, right? Not going with your first gut instinct, but it's kind of thinking before you respond. And as Americans, we are known for expressing ourselves, aren't we, as Americans? We stand up for what we believe in. And there is a time and a place for all of those things, but there's also a time and a place to be a little more thoughtful and responsible with your words, with your right speech. You shouldn't say whatever you want whenever you feel like it. Like when you go to Bel Air and you're with your little 3-year-old, you never know what's going to happen there, right? The little 3-year-old's going, oh, mommy, look at how fat that lady is. We don't want to say whatever. We want to think about what we say. And you're like, oh, she is. No, you don't say that. So as you know, words are very powerful, aren't they? Words can actually change a life. Words can change your life. Imagine, growing up as a child. If you hear the words, you are loved, you are smart, you are wonderful, you are going to be successful. Imagine how that's going to shape your life. And they're just words. Imagine, on the other hand, if you hear words like, you never do anything right, you're never going to amount to anything, why are you so lazy? Why can't you be more like the boy next door? Imagine how those words will shape your life. So you can see how powerful words are. So the next time you're in an altercation or in some heated disagreement, instead of saying what your first instinct is, instead of blurting out the first words that come to your mind, take a moment and pause and try to come up with a different set of words to change your outcome. So when your teenager says to you, I hate you, you don't understand me, instead of saying, this is what you say, you go, well, that's your problem. You don't know anything about life anyway. You don't know what you're talking about. Those were the words you're going to choose. Instead, when your teenager says, I hate you, you don't understand me, you're supposed to say, I hope you don't mean those words because they are very hurtful. And you are right. I don't always understand you, which is why we need to communicate better so we can understand each other better. Okay? That's right? That's going to happen, right? That's how it's going to, I know that's not always a realistic thing to have, but you kind of get my point, right? We need to make an effort to choose our words better. I believe if we can do that, things would be so much better in life, at work, at home, everywhere things would be better. And now I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm talking on behalf of the men. And maybe I don't represent all of you, but probably most of you. Men have it rough, especially when it comes to language, because we're not always that smart when it comes to words. And this is something women need to realize. And they need to make the appropriate adjustments to help us out. Because words are tough. Like when a woman says, we say something and a woman goes, that's fine. Men go, that's fine. Right? The women laugh at that. The men are like, what's so funny? I don't get it. Clearly it's not fine. That means, oh, that's fine for now. We'll see, And when a woman says, whatever you want. No, it's not whatever you want. It never is whatever you want. It's always you thinking and imagining what she wants. Okay, maybe not, but. And another good one is when they go, what? Sometimes that means a man just thinks, oh, she didn't hear me. Oh, no, she heard you. But when she goes, what? Or it's, excuse me, that's the same thing, right? That is your cue to rethink what you just said and say it in a different way. And the final three are when a woman says, I guess so, that means no. Or when a woman says, well, maybe, that means no. And when a woman says no, that means no, too. Okay, so I know that was just a bit of a kind of a funny joke, but I'm going to ask Elliot to cue up this video. So I want you to think about the power of words, and I want you to watch, this is just a 2-minute little video, so I want you to watch this video.
What did you do to my sign?
I wrote the saying, but in different words.
Thanks, love.
All right. I like that video a lot. Yeah. I really like that video, and I understand that this particular video may make people react in different ways because it touched on other issues as well, such as like social status and disability, but I don't think that's what the message of this video was, obviously, right? The message of the video is change your words, change your world. And that was the intention of this video, to express the power of words and how important it is to carefully choose what words you're going to use to shape your message or to shape what you're trying to communicate. So make a conscious choice on how you want to engage the world. Will you be lazy and use impatient language that doesn't inspire? Or will you put in that extra effort to communicate in a way that is positive and creates more solutions than problems? Words are so important. Words, it's not even just what you say all the time, it's how you say it. And sometimes it's even who says it. So in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, I thought I would try to say some words in a way that I think he would have said it if he were here today. So I think if he came here today, he would come up to the pulpit and greet everybody, and he would say, "I have a dream that we can all learn to think before we speak. I have a dream that we will choose words that truly convey what we feel, that the words we use with one another will be sensitive and thoughtful, not empty and hurtful. I have a dream that the positive and articulate language we use will lead us to resolution of conflict and not cause more disagreements. I have a dream that one day children will understand parents, husbands will understand wives, bosses will understand employees, and that the people that have will understand the people that have not. I have a dream." Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.